Hey there lovers, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please do subscribe and become part of the positive family where we're all about positivity. If you're an old subscriber and OG, baby, thank you for coming back. Please ensure you put on your post notification bell so that you do not miss anytime I upload an informative video. Right, so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a viral load. This video has been a long time coming because I've been talking about viral loads a lot on my channel now, and I haven't even explained to you guys and told you guys about viral load, what is it, and all the shenanigans and stuff, you know. So like, how dare I not talk about viral load after all this time, chat. So it's that time I have to talk about a viral load so that everyone else there is clear, and some other time when I talk about viral load they are able to know what viral load is, right? So let's get straight into the video. Viral load, I feel like I've said this a lot of times now. Viral load is the amount of the virus in your body, right? So how like, it's basically how many viruses you have in your body. I think that's how I can explain it to people who like want me to be more clearer. It's how many viruses are in your body, in your immune system, in your system, right? So there is a high viral load, then there is a suppressed undetectable viral load, right? And then there's just the low viral load, right? So let's start by explaining high viral load. A high viral load is a viral load that is above 20 copies per ml. So viral loads are measured in copies per milliliter. So I'm just going to be saying copies per ml throughout the video, right? So don't get lost. Just know that viral load is measured in copies per milliliter, right? So having a high viral load means you have let's say 21 copies per ml and higher. If you have 143 copies per ml like me, it's high. If you have 1,000 copies per ml, or have 5,000 copies per ml, or even 10,000 copies per ml, it is super high, and we don't want it to be there, right? That is a high viral load, which means the virus, there's a lot of the virus in your body that to an extent where it is defeating your body. It's hard for your body to heal and to fight against diseases that might come onto you, like flu, like COVID, like other illnesses that might get into the body. Your body is weak, your immune system is weak, the soldiers in your system, which we call CD4 counts, cannot fight because the virus is a lot in your system, and it's basically making your CD4 counts to, it's basically making your body too weak, and your CD4 counts can't fight. That is a high viral load. We don't want high viral load. That is why I'm working towards making my viral load as low as possible and undetectable, because basically we don't want that, right? Why we don't want a higher viral load? Because when you do have a high viral load, first of all, your body is weak, can't fight against illnesses that can bring you down and actually kill you, like flu and COVID, for example. So your body is super weak, you get sick often, yeah. And another thing why we don't want a high viral load is because it is, your virus is, that means the virus is transmittable. It means you can transmit, you can transmit the virus to another person. You can transmit the virus to someone else because it is super high, right? So during sex, if you're not using a condom during sex, you can infect someone else with HIV. If you're using a condom and then it bursts, you can infect the person with HIV. If I touch your body and I have a cut and I'm HIV negative and you have a high viral load, I can get infected with HIV. When you give birth, you can infect your baby. So yeah, that is why we don't want the high viral load. It's super bad. super bad. And then we have a low viral load. A low viral load is a viral load that is at 19 copies per mil. From 19 down, that is a low viral load. So low viral load, it means it's getting to a point where it's becoming undetectable, right? So we want a low viral load. We want it to be low as low as possible. And then we have undetectable viral load. Undetectable viral load is exactly what we're aiming for. At the end of the day, we want it to be undetectable, which means it's there in your body, but we can't detect it. We can't see it. The blood test can't see it because it's just super low that it can't be seen, which means that your body is stronger, your immune system is stronger, and your soldiers can fight against illnesses like COVID and flu, and you're just strong, right? And then also, an undetectable viral load means you cannot transmit it to other people. You cannot transmit it to other people. No matter what you do, it can be transmitted to other people, right? So during sex, it can't be transmitted to other people. During birth, it can't be. During any contact of your blood, it can't be transmitted to the other person because it's not there, which is what we're aiming for, what we want. Because for me, having an undetectable viral load is like I want to get there as so much. Like I can't even explain how I want to get there. So an undetectable viral load is what we want at the end of the day. So how do we get an undetectable viral load, which is what I believe we all want to. I believe all people who are HIV positive want to do. So what we want to do for us to get to the undetectable stage is we want to take our medication exactly how we were told to take them properly each and every day, right? Because we both know, not both, but it's you and I, but we all know that HIV cannot be cured, right? But there's medication, pills, drugs that we take that help suppress the virus in our bodies. It doesn't heal us, but it help suppress the virus, bring it down, so that we can be able to live healthy, happy lives, like I always say, right? So by taking your drugs, your medication, your pills each and every day, like you were instructed by the doctor or by your healthcare provider, it will help you get to the undetectable stage. You know, now we have the U is equals to U thing, which is undetectable, means untransmittable. We want to get there as much as possible, because if I'm undetectable, then I cannot transmit it to you, and that means that if I'm undetectable, if I'm protected and healthy, that means you are too, right? So yeah, just take your medication as if the doctor said, or if the doctor said that you take your medication every night at 6 p.m. you take it every night at 6 p.m. every day, as much as possible. I know that if we are human, we forget, things happen, but just put an alarm on your cell phone so that you don't forget. Like, it always reminds you, because cell phones will remind you. One thing about cell phones, they remind you unless the battery is low. But also, that's where you must have someone that you trust. When you're living with HIV, you must have someone that you tell about it. Someone who's going to be able to remind you when you need to take your pills, remind you when is that date for your next appointment. Someone who's going to be a support system for you, because you can't do it all alone. No man is an island, and that is just as true as it gets, as real as it gets. You have to have someone. If it's your best friend, if you're afraid to tell your parents, if it's your parents, your mother, your boyfriend, somebody you trust, someone you trust, you super trust, they'll be able to remind you, give you support when you need it. You know what I'm saying? That's when you have to tell them, hold on, you take your medication at 6 p.m. every night, so that they remind you if the phone is off or if you lost your phone or something like that, right? To make sure that you take your medication at 6 p.m. each and every night, right? It will help you to get to untransmittable and undetectable viral load, right? And then you have to also eat proper food, like eat healthy proper food, like eat veggies, eat, like when I say eat veggies, I don't mean now you should be a rabbit and eat carrot and salad every day. No, just make sure that you have a balanced meal, like you have in your plate when you eat, you have veggies, you have a little bit of carbs, you have a little bit of protein. That's balanced meal. Like you have meat and then have a bit of veggies and have a bit of starch or carbs like pap or bread or corn, something like that. Just have a balanced meal, drink water, and exercise, even if it means you walk, you know, so that you get your body active and your immune system being able to fight, right? That's how you get to undetectable. Also have protected sex all the time, because sometimes you don't know the status of the person you're having sex with. They might be HIV positive and you actually don't know. And I've made a video of it, of reinfection. Reinfection is basically when you get reinfected with a new strand of HIV. If you have not checked out that video, I'll link it down below. Go check it out, because now this is where it comes in, right? That if you don't know your partner, sometimes they lie to us. I know sometimes they tell the truth, sometimes they lie. You never know who you're having sexual intercourse with, but sometimes they may be HIV positive, and they're HIV positive, you're HIV positive, but that does not mean you have the same HIV. You have different strands. So if you have unprotected sex with a person, their strand can get into you and you can get a high viral load trial, and that's not what we want. So have protected sex at all times. Then that's how you get to becoming undetectable, right? Remember, when you're undetectable is when your virus is at, when your viral load is at 0. When is at 0? When is at 0? It's undetectable. When is it 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, you have a low viral load, but the aim is getting it going to undetectable as low as possible, as low as we can. Okay, so that's how you get to undetectable viral load. So yeah, that's how basically it. So what it means for us people with HIV, who are living with HIV, is that we must aim to become undetectable, take our medication as much as possible, do all the things that will make us undetectable. That's what we need to do as HIV positive people. And even if you don't know your HIV status, go get tested. It's very important that you go get tested and know your status, because you might have HIV and you don't know it. So the sooner you know, the better you can get to undetectable. And like, yeah, because we don't want the stage where you don't know your HIV status to the point where now it becomes AIDS. We don't want that. So yeah, go get tested. So what it means for us as HIV positive HIV people living with HIV is that we must get the virus to become undetectable so that we don't transmit it to other people, and it's healthier also for us. So yeah, get to undetectable. That's where I'm aiming at right now. I'm at 143 copies per mil. It is high, super high. I was undetectable at some point in my life, but it went really high, so I want to get it to low and undetectable, right? So yeah, you're going with me on this journey. I'll update you when I get my next blood test results again, and we'll just go through this together. If you are out there also with an undetectable viral load, so with that high viral load, and you want to get it to undetectable, let's have this journey together. There's my email there in the description box. Email me and tell me all about it. Let's do this all together. Let's hold each other's hands, because no man is an island. You can't do this all alone, right? So yeah, that is what viral load is. It's the whole shenanigan. That's just it. So yeah, it was long overdue, the video, and yeah, I thought I should just do it and get it over and done with, because I keep talking about viral load in my videos and maybe some of you don't know it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned what viral load is and how to keep it as low as possible, and yeah, just keep track of your health status So I hope you learned. If you have not gotten to test, go there and test. I hope you learned that you gotta test. And yeah, comment down below what you want to see from my channel and what you've learned in today's video. How would you want me to help you? Anything, comment down below, or just pop me an email. It's on my description box. I can't give you guys my phone number because people on my comments sometimes be saying, can I have your number? I have something that I need to tell. Email me, send me an email. I can't give you my number. Like, we don't do that. Like, my number is for my personal people, like, you know. So yeah, and I guess I'll see you guys in my next video whenever I post another one. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, do all of the good stuff, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.